be many arts students, but they're going to be from a very particular social band, essentially. Because I mean, if you tell someone you're going to rack up £40,000 debt, they're very unlikely to go on the course. And because of the penalties you have for early repayment, so if you save up during your uni years and then choose to pay off part of your debt in a lump sum, you will be penalised for it. So basically the only people who are encouraged to study these subjects are the ones who can pay up front, which is only a minority of people. And I mean, you look at the people in political and economic, but particularly political power. They've all studied what? History, law, politics, economics, subjects like that.
They've done it for ages, and it will be.
And the only ones, only ones who will be able to afford these subjects and will be able to enter such sort of spheres of political and economic power are the ones who can afford it.
I think definitely there will be
really
less people going to university, but at the moment I can't see whether that will have a positive or a negative effect.
I think that the change will not have a major effect on what people are going to study. People have gone to universities for years, in hundreds of years so far, and there have been major changes, and there's no real topic or no real field that was dropped because things have changed. Things have changed in the States. In the States, the tuition fee has risen.
Yes.
Still, people study literature or things where you don't necessarily usually go into a high-paid job. So I think all these changes will not have effect on what people
But you look at the
study.
people being employed, particularly in the recent recession, post-graduation employment rates, most of them have been people with sort of useful degrees. For a lot of friends of mine who studied subjects like history, politics, communications, things like that at a bachelor's level in American universities are unemployed. Or they're having to do
also because of I think you have to see it in a greater scheme than just today. You see it bigger than just in these post-recession times. You have to see it in a bigger picture. And I think even if you do a degree like an arts degree or a degree which is not as like medicine or politics, which
it doesn't conform to whatever.
It's what you're proving with this degree is that you're capable of working with text, with working and thinking logically, and with this skill you will have the opportunity to get a
valuable skill.
So I don't see a problem with different degrees or a big shift. I
see the quality of degrees falling.
I think I would agree that we will see less people going to university in the future, but I do worry that will be not in meritocratic terms, but that will be to do with people with socioeconomic backgrounds. We'll be seeing less people going to university in the future. On the issue of different types of degrees that people are going into, I think that we will see less people going to arts and humanities for the sheer reason that the funding is being cut in such a way that there'll be less opportunity to do so, much less, and people underestimate that severely. I think there'll be much less opportunity to go. Because 100% of the teaching grant is being cut for arts and humanities, I think it will be the more prestigious institutions which by their own grace and their own sort of surplus will choose to put on those courses to uphold their reputations, and so I think they'll become more inaccessible. In terms of the bigger picture, well, I don't know, it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen, but I do think that particularly where arts and humanities are concerned, they're going to be upheld by the wealthier institutions, and I do think that we'll be seeing less people going to university, but it will be along economic lines rather than meritocratic lines, which is a great shame. But I agree that transferable skills, can be picked up in all of them, which are valuable to any job. And I think we have a shrinking job market, which just happens to be coinciding with people coming out of their degree, which is due to the wider structural problems.
I think as long as this attitude towards social mobility exists in our society, where the university degree is for a 16, 17-year-old held above everything else, I think for as long as those kind of attitudes exist, there will be a strain put on the system. I think, yes, we will probably see less people coming to university, but as I've said, I'm not sure how that will pan out. I haven't got a clear idea as to what will happen, but I think there will still be strains in the future, and I think that definitely once the education cuts have been implemented, I think that the landscape of university education will change.
Yes. Yes.
But probably for the worst.
We can't be sure now.
We can't be sure
now.
It will definitely change.
It will change. That